safe with you. You want me now, I know you do. I know you're being patient and I love you for that. You show me how to dare to love. So tell me what you're thinking of. Cause I won't be afraid, not holding anything back. Don't know if I'm dreaming, I'm slipping away. I hear your sweet voice, then I see your face. I never knew you could love someone like me. You climbed my tower and you set me free. I never know felt like this before. I never know felt the love like this. I never know felt like this before. I never felt the love like this. I never felt like this before. Like this before. Felt the love like this.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, people.
It's Friday, man. It is Friday. It is, what's today's date? April 9th, 2021. This is Like It or Not. We're free to tell the truth and all that good stuff. James, how you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. How about yourself, Ben? Hey, we woke up and got the same mindset, bro. Come on, Levi's.
Hey, you know what I mean? Hey, take it back to the old school.
Old school.
Oh, man, I'm doing good, man. It's Friday, and I need a sunny day, but it's not a sunny day, but it's a good day, man.
Yeah.
I'm alive and just working and grinding. You know how it is, man. Rebecca, for everybody in the chat room, we already know. Everybody who's watching live, they're like, where's Rebecca? Rebecca be here in a few minutes. Everybody can relax. She's coming in. She's going to bring all her sunshine and
Right.
all her extraness. You know how she says? She says she's too much and not enough. She'll be here any minute now. In the meantime, we're just going to get started with all the news and politics. So much happening in this country and around the world. Today is day 12 of a national hunger strike aimed at raising awareness and ending the U.S.-supported blockade of much-needed humanitarian aid for the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Yemen. Now, we spoke previously with Congressman Ro Khanna about what's happening in Yemen, and we've covered it many times. This has been an ongoing humanitarian crisis for which the United States is culpable because of how we support Saudi Arabia in this. To refresh your memories, the United States is providing a great deal of logistical support as well as munitions through ongoing arms sales to the Saudi government as it continues its multi-year effort to bomb its neighbor Yemen into submission. Currently, Saudi Arabian naval forces are preventing 10 vessels full of critical aid and fuel from docking at a port controlled by forces in opposition to the Saudis. All of these vessels were granted approval from the United Nations to deliver this aid. I want us to take a look at this short video on the Yemeni liberation movement, which is the leading organizer of the effort.
400,000 children, 400,000 are at risk of dying right now in Yemen. U.S. backing of the war started under Obama and escalated under Trump. It's been more than 2 months since the U.S.-backed Saudi blockade has allowed tankers packed with the necessary fuel for food and supplies to reach starving Yemenis.
My name is Mana. I'm a Yemeni from Michigan, and I'm on hunger strike to demand an end to the U.S.-supported blockade in Yemen.
My name is Khalid Khalaz, and I'm a Yemeni organizer.
My name is Monica. I'm with Yemeni Liberation Movement, and I'm hunger striking for Yemen to demand an end to the U.S.-supported blockade.
The U.S. could literally end this today. They could stop this right now.
There's a corporate trail to every weapon, every drop of gas.
Our lands, our people, our families are not collateral damage. That's right. Capitalist profit.
What in our systems and the way we are living our lives allows us to be so disconnected that when you hear that children are being murder in this way, that you hear genocide, that's not even alarming.
A child dies every 75 seconds in Yemen. So by the time you watch this, a child is gone. And we will continue to be here until our demands are met.
Biden, end the blockade! 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 Biden, end the blockade!
Now, I want to emphasize the fact that it's a strong possibility that in 1 year, 400,000 children can die from this starvation, from this blockade for which the United States is culpable because of our logistical support and munition support for Saudi Arabia. Now, we have had a long-standing relationship with Saudi Arabia for many purposes, the greatest of which is oil. But to what extent is the United States going to continue to allow ourselves... I had to stop myself in mid-sentence, because the United States is always going to continue to allow itself to have blood on its hands for the sake of capitalist profits for oil. We have seen that. We've proven that time and again. We've allowed Saudi Arabia to get away with literal murder of U.S. citizens and did nothing because we did not want to risk the relationship with Saudi Arabia. And so we are seeing that this country, the United States of America, is 100% willing to stand by and allow hundreds of thousands of children to die for the sake of maintaining this relationship with Saudi Arabia. On Tuesday, Representative Debbie Dingell, alongside U.S. Representatives Mark Pocan, Ro Khanna, Ilhan Omar, and others, led over 70 congressional Democrats in an effort to push the president's administration to pressure Saudi Arabia to lift the blockade immediately. The key component in this is that we have the capacity to stop this humanitarian crisis today. And this is why the hunger strike is going on. And this is why so much attention needs to be brought to this and pressure needs to be put on the Biden administration, because we cannot sit idly by. This started, I want everybody to understand how long this has been going on. It started underneath the Obama administration, escalated underneath the Trump administration, and now it's being continued by the Biden administration. This is where every administration has something in common. Every administration has stood idly by, not idly by, but has been complicit with what is happening in Yemen. And if the Biden administration does not stop this blockade immediately, then we will have the blood of hundreds of thousands of Yemeni children on our hands. And this goes to the conversation that we've been having this week about the dehumanization. The fact that we can otherify an entire group of people because they don't look like us, because they don't live in this. And when I say look like us, I'm saying American. I'm saying they don't look like the collective Western civilization. They don't look like, we have otherified them so much so that we don't feel any emotion. So many people simply feel no emotion whatsoever about the atrocities that are happening as the result of the United States of America in an entire region. And that's because this country has successfully, throughout the centuries, made sure that we have no emotional connection whatsoever to the lives of the children and the families that are being obliterated by weapons that were sold to Saudi Arabia through the United States of America. To contextualize it for you a little bit more, just think about whatever period in your life you were the most vulnerable, and you had no control over what happened, not only to you, but if you're a parent, you had no control over what happened to your children. The most immediate example that I can come up with was, and it may not make sense to you until I finish the comparison, but just bear with me. We've had tornadoes in this city, and they were so close to our house that I literally could not see how I had any power whatsoever to save my children's lives. Completely vulnerable. That's the best example I can give you because I'm sitting inside of American empire. I never have to worry about somebody flying over my house with a drone and dropping it on us and having no control over the destiny and the safety and the protection over my children. The only example I can give you to contextualize it is the fact that there have been nights in this city where I live where tornadoes were so close to my house, I had to smile and tell my kids it would be okay, but I literally had no idea whether or not they would be okay. And we are perpetrating that type of atrocity every single day, but instead of a tornado, it's drones. Instead of a tornado, it's the blockade. Instead of tornadoes, the only thing I can compare it to is the emotional trauma of having to look at my children and not and honestly lie to them, say everything's going to be okay. But I had no idea. And I can imagine, just for the sake of for empathy, imagine what parents are going through in that country, and it's the result of our taxpayer dollars funding what Saudi Arabia has been doing to those families. I need people who don't feel an emotional connection to this to be a human for a second, to humanize the people who are suffering in Yemen and so many other nations as a result of American foreign policy and our bastardized relationship with Saudi Arabia, where we stand idly by and allow them, this year alone, 400,000 children can die, and we can stop it. James, let's go to a quick break. When we come back, we have a lot more news, politics, and we'll be joined by Rebecca to cover so much more like it or not, after this.
Good morning again, everyone. Good morning again. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat room checking us out. We are glad that you are here this morning. Make sure that you stay tuned, and also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and on Facebook at the Like It or Not Show, at Like It or Not Show. Make sure that you follow. Shout out to everybody that's watching us on Twitch and on Facebook. So thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all stay tuned, y'all. We got some more good stuff coming up. In the meantime, we're going to give y'all some good music. Good morning, Mama. Good morning. Shout out to Sensation as well, too. Good morning to you. Peter Low Frequency, good morning.
He's a man and he's taking it to the streets, just doing what he's able.
Esther, good morning. Brenda, good morning. Happy Friday.
And put food on the table. It's cold outside, but the package is hot.
Seven Sweetheart, good morning. S Truth the Dragon. Justice, good morning.
I remember vividly, etched in my mind like filigree. Visions of a gritty street, living so my kid can eat. I'm chilling deep at the hideout, that's my vicinity. The phone rings, a voice says it's ready for delivery. The package, the message clear my head like antihistamines. Time to do my job, consider me the man of mystery, the secret agent. And you're the boss is known to be impatient. She need the package, she says it's so close she can taste it. I saw the look in her eyes, I was unsurprised. Ain't nothing new, already been through this 100 times. She can't settle, hunger strong enough to smash metal. So I slide in the driver's seat and match the gas pedal.
Alicia, good morning. Courtney, good morning. Happy Friday to you.
In front of me, I pass a couple, then check the rear view to see who's creeping behind me. Eyes in all directions, I'm never stepping blindly.
He's a man.
Make sure that you are in the place tonight. We do have our Patriot Party this evening. Patriot Party going down 9 p.m., y'all. Make sure that y'all are there. Make sure that you check your emails for the link for the Patriot Party this evening, y'all. It's going down. It's going down.
I'm never rushing, on time every time, no discussion. Moon shines down like it knows something, I hope it doesn't. I'm at the pickup spot that got the best product. Package in the back of the restaurant, the chef's got it. I step inside, he approach me slowly. No words needed, only a nod because the homie knows me. My cash is counted perfect, ready for the handoff. It go down slick as a magic trick, call me Gandalf. Now I'm back on the street, bag full of heat in the passenger seat, and I'm gnashing my teeth.
Sandra, good morning, I see you. Shout out to everybody that's checking us out on Facebook, y'all.
Before her blood boil, it's covered in foil, wrapped up tight. The only thing to satisfy her appetite, she gotta have it right. My love for her is crazy. I'll make it back safely and watch her face light up because it's that tasty.
Why don't you get it by now? Tell me what you learned in grade school.
Chuck Diesel, good morning, sir. Once again, always remember, like it or not, is not responsible for any broken furniture that you may experience while you're dancing and turning around in your house. So please be careful and move your furniture out of the way. Like it or not. Thanks. Shout out to everybody that's dancing and rocking with us this morning, y'all.
Going through changes, I'm just so mad right now, I can't even think straight. So I'ma just tweet it and delete it, knowing you won't read it before we get too far away. I need to clear my mind, I'd rather just tweet it and delete it.
Nat A, Nat M, good morning to the Nat Squad. Brian Smith, good morning, brother, good morning.
Rewind, 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 rewind. Tell me what choice I have now. I just wanna get it right with you. But if we try to talk about it, our history says we'll just argue. And I know you're gonna act a fool, and then no one could tell the difference between me and you, babe, watching from a distance.
S Truth the Dragon, that was PCH, if I'm not mistaken. Daniel, good morning. Shout out again to everybody that's on Facebook rocking with us, y'all. We see y'all.
I'ma just tweet it and delete it, knowing you won't read it before we get too far away. I need to clear my mind, I'd rather just tweet it and delete it.
JL, thank you for your super chat. I appreciate that. You know, we're trying to do a little something this morning.
We reach a point we can't rewind. Maybe I need some space, need some air somewhere else to go.
And shout out to Tiger Kasune as well too for your super chat. Thank you so much. Says, morning family. I got post blocked on Facebook for sharing a post about Matt Gates being guilty for trafficking a minor for sex. They are protected. Of course they are, sir. All right, so let's get back to some more news, y'all. Welcome back to the screen, Benjamin Dixon.
James. Whew, before we go to the news, man, appreciate everything that you're doing over there with the music, man. Like, bro, it is so critical. Like, what you do for us is so critical, man, because I'll be ready to like grab something and just like flip over tables.
You're ready to flip the tables, yeah.
I'll be ready to flip the tables, man. And we got a couple more stories that are going to do that. So as soon as we're done, we're going to cut right to some music so we can soothe our souls, man. Last thing I need, I don't need anybody leaving this show going to blow something up as a result of something that I see.
Like, what were you doing beforehand? I was watching Like It or Not, and I just got upset. No. You
ain't gonna put it on us. Nope. You go out here and do something stupid. It's gonna be on you, not because us.
It's
we're gonna
on
make
you,
sure
right?
we gonna give you the news, but we ain't gonna break you. We're gonna break you the news, but we ain't gonna break you because we got to. It's life, man. You absolutely got like. It is, and we say this all the time, but it is essential that we stay informed, right? And know what's going on and know how our role, like the role that we play in it. We got to know those things, but we also got to live, right? And we also got to survive because these things really weigh down super heavy on you. And so anyway, to that extent, we got a couple other news stories that we got to get covered. Update on COVID-19. According to the data published on Thursday by the CDC, roughly 1/4 of all American adults are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Additionally, more than 112 million people have thus far received at least one dose of the vaccine. Of a vaccine, including more than 43% of adults and nearly 77% of people over the age of 65, which is amazing news. This comes as many states prepare to open vaccine eligibility to all their citizens in the coming weeks. The CDC also acknowledged for the first time that the risk of catching COVID from surfaces is extremely low, so it's likely that many organizations and businesses will no longer be disinfecting surfaces quite as often. No, y'all should still do that anyway.
Yes, man,
the true risk of catching COVID remains airborne particles of the virus. But please, folks, please, wipe down your surfaces. Like that's the absolute worst advice.
Guys,
because some of the nastiest places you could go is to a restaurant with a dirty ass table. Like, wait, it's sticky. You go to these bars and the bar. Like, no, we need them to disinfect everything. I'm sorry, James. Like, Please.
That's something that just needs to go on just anyway, even without COVID. Just you need to wipe your goddamn surfaces off.
They should have been doing that in the first place. Like, why did they have to wait for a damn pandemic for them to wipe and disinfect down? No, bro. Like, there's plenty of other diseases and sicknesses and just viruses just because people don't wipe down their surfaces.
Yep.
Anyway, but this is good news, man. A lot of people are vaccinated, 25% of the adult population and 77% of people over the age of 65. That's amazing news. So we have the potential of actually seeing this slow down and get back to some sense of normalcy. But there's also the other side of the equation. There's so many people who are actually promoting the idea of not getting the vaccine. They're anti-vaxxers. And they're spreading misinformation, and it's so dangerous because we're right on the cusp of where we could either go out of this or we can keep playing around with it and let these variants mutate into something that the vaccines may not be able to accommodate for. Right. So the current variants, so far, it looks like the current vaccines are taking care of those. But if we have a large population of people who refuse to get the vaccines because of misinformation and disinformation and fear mongering, then we're going to be in this a whole lot longer. So, anybody who is discouraging you from getting the vaccine for whatever reason, do not listen to those people. Period. Point blank. Go get vaccinated. And James, were you able to get your second shot already? You got it scheduled?
Man, no. Like, I've been trying to get an appointment for the past. Actually, I'm sorry. So I've been trying to get an appointment for the past 2 days. I set up one and said it was my first dose. That's the only way the appointment time took. But there was a question in there that was like, is this your first dose? And I said no. So it still let me book the appointment. So I'm just going to show up and we'll see what happens. But I think Monday or Tuesday I go. But yeah, man, honestly, with the vaccine, you know what? I really think a lot of this anti-vax stuff came in. And I'm sure that it's been going on for years, but over the past few years, there have been so many issues or things said about the vaccines that we used to give infants. You know, the vaccines that we got as kids.
Right.
So a lot of that, after a while, they started talking that there's extra stuff in these vaccines. We shouldn't give these kids the vaccines. And I think it's just spread from there. So now here it is, it's COVID, and people don't want to get the vaccine just from prior history. And I can understand, like I said, the whole mentality of it, but do your research on it. Best thing you do is do your own research, man.
And when you do your own research, don't do it on YouTube. Okay.
Don't do it on YouTube. Jesus, don't do it on YouTube.
Don't do your research on YouTube. Because there's for every good piece of information that you're going to find on YouTube, you're going to find some bad information. And what happens is that you have a lot of the anti-vaxxers who make these emotional appeals. Oh, this happened to me, and this happened to my child, and this happened to my grandfather, or whatever the case may be. And they make these emotional appeals, and then that taps into the fear of individuals. And so long as they can tap into your fear, they can make you override your critical thinking skills, right? Fear trumps science all the time when you're talking about emotions. And so when you're doing your research, don't listen to people who are fear mongering, trying to make you afraid of it. Listen to the scientists. For the love of God, we've had vaccines for forever. And it is, who is this? Oh, no, I'm going off. It was something totally different. But it is much better for us to get vaccinated against COVID-19 than to suffer some of these horrific deaths that individuals are actually, like the idea of suffocation, the idea of not being able to breathe. Like, this is a nefarious disease, man, virus. Like, it is really something that we should take and be mindful of. To shift gears really hard, I was reading the comment in the comment section. I think it was Brenda, and we were talking about how these companies, these these restaurants, James, need to continue to wipe down. They should have been wiping down the surfaces all this time. Somebody in the chat room said men should have been washing their hands after using the bathroom all the time. And I'm like, why? And I was going to feel some kind of way because I wash my hands all the time. But I remember when I lived in South Florida and I used to play poker a lot in South Florida down at the Hard Rock. They literally had to move the washing of the hand station from inside the men's bathroom into the open area so that everybody could see whether or not you were actually washing your hands before you set your little nasty ass back down and start handling cards and whatnot. So I was going to feel some kind of way about that comment, but it was such a problem that they had to put the sink literally out in the public spaces so that if you walk past it, everybody know you was a funky ass dirty person. So anyway,
that's funny, dude. And, you never realize how much you've done stuff like to this pandemic started. Never realized how much I was touching my face, how many surfaces you're touching on a daily basis. Like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah. Stop. No, not touching my face was the hardest thing to stop doing.
Yes,
like
man.
I would be there with my hand like trembling, like I'm like, I can't don't touch my face. And then but I finally, it took a whole year, however long we've been in here, I finally am at the place where I can consciously know I don't need to touch my hands until my face until I like go and wash them and sanitize them. Like if I'm driving somewhere and I pick up food or whatever, like I have to actively put my hands on the steering wheel and remember, don't touch your face. But it's getting a little bit better, a little bit easier. The flip side of this conversation, the good news is so many Americans are being vaccinated, but the bad news is that America is still playing games with the ability of nations in the global south to get access to the vaccines, to cheaper versions of the vaccines. Howard Dean, the former progressive champion, is calling for President Joe Biden to reject a special intellectual property waiver that would allow low-cost generic coronavirus vaccines to be produced to meet the needs of low-income countries. Now, the pharmaceutical industry, including representatives of Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, have pushed the Biden administration to oppose the intellectual property waiver petition and go further to even impose sanctions on any country that moves to manufacture vaccines without their express permission. This is absolutely a continuation of even the first story that we talked about in Yemen. The things that this country does to the global south is particularly disgusting because we're in a pandemic, and in order to protect the profit margins of Pfizer and Moderna, who, by the way, I need everybody to understand very clearly, these vaccines are not free. They're just being paid for by the federal government. And Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca, and Pfizer, they're all in line getting checks from the government into the tune of billions of dollars to cover the cost of the vaccines. And what they want is to ensure that they can continue to get paid these windfall profits, even from nations in the global south. So instead of allowing a generic version of the vaccines to be produced so that they can be affordable to people in the global south, Howard Dean, who was at one time considered to be a firebrand progressive, fighting on behalf of working people, fighting on behalf of people who are marginalized, he's actively doing the work of lobbyists pressuring President Biden to not allow a generic version of the vaccine to be produced in order to stop the coronavirus's spread across the global south. So yet again, we're seeing with every good thing that happens in this country, there's a myriad of evil things that happen, and that usually occurs in the global south, in nations that are so stricken with poverty, but they're stricken with poverty because of things that this country and Western imperialism has done so many times before. So it's just a continuation of the same narrative that we have to be mindful. The United States is hoarding. We are hoarding these vaccines, which is to the benefit of people who live here, but is absolutely to the detriment of people across the globe. We do not see ourselves as a nation as global actors, except for the extent to which we spread global imperialism. But we absolutely have no regard in so many cases for people who are human beings just like us, so long as it comes at the expense. If something comes at the expense of profits, you can guarantee that America is going to be on the wrong side of that equation, including people like Howard Dean, because it's absolutely absurd. The amount of money that these pharmaceutical companies that created the vaccines are already making should be enough. Period. When is enough enough? How much more do they need to make? Because they're literally going to get their shots into the arms of probably 90% of America. 90% of the globe. And you'd mean to tell me that they can't sacrifice and cut some of their profits just a little bit to make sure that poorer nations who cannot afford the cost of the vaccine can get a generic version? We've seen this play itself out so many times before. It's not just happening with COVID-19, but with any other drug. We see the fight to protect these companies from having to be challenged by a generic version of their drug because it would cost them dollars. And this is exactly why we fight for Medicare for all. We fight to get profits out of the healthcare industry, because so long as we allow people to make money off the sickness, the death and dying and suffering of individuals, we are going to be complicit and have blood on our hands, because there's absolutely no excuse for companies in a nation that makes this much money to stand in the way of poorer nations from getting access to a cheaper version. It's analogous to us having to pay someone in the United States having to pay hundreds of dollars for insulin when it can be produced for a single dollar. And this is the nature of the United States of America. All right, James.
Yep. Let's
go to a break. When we come back, more Like It or Not after this.
Yes, sir. It's time for the new patrons. All right, welcome again, y'all. Welcome again. It is time to introduce you to our new patrons. So grab a seat, hold tight, and let's get it. Give me 1 second. Let me get my list pulled up, and we're going to play that music. Oh man, we got a hell of a list today. So let's get to it. Our new patrons today. All of these are on the Lion Patreon. That's right, y'all. All of these are on the Like It or Not Patreon. So welcome. We have Dawn B, Henry K. Henry, welcome. Maria A, welcome. The KLR. Heart Song. Okay, I'm loving these names. That's dope. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. Danny V. Susan B. Welcome. It's Truth a Dragon. Welcome, lady. Welcome. Aurora. Welcome, Aurora. Kayla J. Pamela J. Good morning. Welcome. Sherry. We're hoping it's Sherry or Cherie. We'll see. Welcome. Michael K, welcome to the fold. Fatty A, welcome, sir. Kenya N, welcome. And Tanya H, welcome to the fold. And also we had Elaine, who joined the BPD Patreon. Thank you so much, we appreciate you. And man, now I'm like, man, should I even do my Twitch subscribers? You know what, we're gonna do it this time, but once we get something's going on with Twitch, we'll get that situated. I don't think it's on our end. But we'll still read off our new Twitch subscribers as well, too. And I do want to apologize to you guys, because, man, it looks like we have missed some of you guys over the past couple of months, but no worries. Dalix, welcome. Green Eye Lurker Dragon, CEO MRail 32, Anastasia Beaver House, Riches 558. Gilmore Golf, Gambling Blues, Necro Merlin, who has been subscribed for 7 months. We thank you, appreciate that. And Azazel 8, who has been subscribed for 6 months. Those are our new patrons. So welcome, everyone. Welcome. You are going to be off the chain, man. Dwayne, tongue tie all over the place. I'm saying, put it here. So before we go back to the show, y'all would better do this one song, and then we'll be back. So here we go, y'all. It's Still Fly.
I could really use a change of scenery. Yeah. Everybody smoking all the greenery. Yeah. Close the match that they were handed down.
That was a lot of goddamn names.
Still fly, I know. I'm still fly, let's go. It could all be worse, I could be a hater like you.
Shout out Latif, what's going on, brother?
Pills to make the man, but that poison's
Miss Nuru, thank you, I appreciate that.
from the inside out. So right now, say it with your chest now, say it with your chest now. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here.
This gonna be me tonight at the Patreon party.
It's my time to run.
It ain't gonna be Tito.
It's my time, it's my time, it's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time, it's my time to ride it now. It's my time, oh. Cheers to all the haters, cause you proved to me that rising to the top was my destiny. And you can see whatever from behind me, but I'm still fly, I know.
All right, Goku, you better play that piano.
I'm still flying.
Chuck Diesel, maybe you should go outside and do your cartwheels and flips. But me too. I was about to get up in the chair and start moving stuff, but I gotta remember I'm on the show, so I can't do that right now.
Gonna feel you from the inside out. It's time to say it with your chest now. Say it with your chest now. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody.
I mean, mama, it's not public drunkenness if you're at your house, but you're just streaming it. There you go.
It's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to ride it out. It's my time, it's my time, it's my time to ride it now. It's your time, oh. If you're on the bus, say yeah.
On and on it goes. Me too. If I try to do any of that, this whole body is gonna fall apart.
Yeah. Everybody's going somewhere. Yeah. Young or old, I really don't care. Yeah. Life has never really been fair. Yeah. So put your fist up in the air. Yeah. Say yeah. I'm young.
He sure did.
I'm free.
Lord Dwayne, maybe he's watching it from the phone like, oh man.
Here and now, it's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time, it's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now.
Andy, I wish I did say that. Andy said she heard that he's going to be at the party tonight.
It's my time to ride it now. It's your time, oh.
Shout out Mark S. Thank you for your chat. He says, have a great weekend, Lounge Pod. Appreciate that.
Chilling at the crib, but I think I'm about to step outside. Calling on my friends, thinking what I wanna do tonight. I just wanna be somewhere, I wanna lose my mind. But when I hit the mall, it's the same thing every time. Got me some shining like it's Christmas. I be on your wish list. Know you wanna kiss this. Summertime, don't lie. If you're thirsty, it's okay. I can read every day. Boys line up.
All right, y'all. Welcome to the screen, my sister from another mister. It's Rebecca.
I know they was expecting Ben just now, but it's me.
Right,
it's me. In the flesh.
It's me, bitches.
It's me, Rebecca. I'm in the house. What's up, Bubba? I see you played Ben's favorite song, our favorite song, our family.
And of course,
song.
you would have issues.
Yeah, it wasn't for him. It wasn't for him to listen today. Maybe we could throw it back at the end of this first segment.
Right.
But how are you? I see you guys was doing the news without me, and it's always cool because Dwayne be trying to have me in the background trying to play me, leave me outside of the club and stuff like that. It's like
just be sitting out there.
But it's okay.
Y'all, honestly, Rebecca was like outside waiting I'm like just waiting to come in for like the past 30 minutes. So It's Dwayne
like
fault.
an hour.
Dwayne, let me stop.
Thank
I
you,
can't
Bubba,
say
for
that.
lying- for
No,
lying for
no,
me.
Should be all right.
nope. I can't. Nope, because I forgot. But you know what? I do owe Dwayne for when was that Tuesday? He let my whole mama call up here. I said, Dwayne, don't you let her call up here. He did
And
anyway.
he made sure he had her. He made sure he had people in the background working with him
Sure
to make
did.
sure that call was going to happen.
I don't want no
Okay.
smoke with Mama Gwen at all.
But I
love them so much, Mama. Hush.
And she had a good story. She was like, James is strange. Y'all don't think you guys know him. And we were like, okay, tell us more, sis. Tell us more. But
look, I thought she was gonna tell the story about me and my brother when we were younger, the one that she tells everybody, but she didn't get a chance to. I'm like, good.
But
So,
now
yeah,
that
you
we
definitely want to call
know
back.
that there's a story about you and your younger brother, what you can do is save that for the Patreon joint afterwards, because we need to know. Okay, we need to know. And I'm gonna make sure you remember that, and I'm gonna make Ben tell his story. That remember that what we were talking about on our meeting, the particular story that he said was pretty embarrassing and he would never go back to as far as a career choice. A lot of us made some really poor career choices, and maybe we can definitely get into that for the after show. But I know you guys are getting into some news, and I wanted to quickly cover this while we get Ben back. So I remember Representative Park Cannon and how she was dragged out as Governor Kemp was signing a Georgia voter suppression law. So Georgia State Rep Park Cannon will not be prosecuted after she was arrested for knocking on Governor Brian Kemp's door during the signing of Georgia's voter suppression law. Representative Cannon was charged with obstruction of law enforcement and disruption of the General Assembly. Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis had this to say on the matter, quote, "While some of Representative Cannon's colleagues and the police officers involved may have found her behavior annoying, such sentiment does not justify a presentment to a grand jury of the allegations in the arrest warrants or any other felony charges." So all I can say is that I agree. I know I was talking with, our producers in the background and saying, they wouldn't have done it. They would have been crazy for doing it. And I was saying, I wouldn't have been shocked if they were to prosecute her, if they were to take it that far, because in Georgia, they already created these voter suppression laws. I'm not shocked, but they went forth with it. Governor Kemp signed it with his colleagues, his white friends, his white counterparts, as if he was doing something so good. And these women and these people have been fighting for this. Park Cannon has been fighting for this since the law was first going in, or since thought of. And her being dragged out only to be prosecuted, I think would be ridiculous. Just knowing here in Georgia, though, if it were to happen, if they were to prosecute her, I wouldn't be shocked. What do you think, James?
No, if they would have done it, I wouldn't have been shocked. But they knew that they weren't going to do it because they would have brought so much hell down on them.
Yeah.
And Kemp and all of them, they're not trying to have any of that. But I already knew them. Like, yeah, y'all knew better. Y'all definitely knew better.
They definitely did know better. And it would have been a riot. Like Dwayne was saying in the background, they would have definitely tore this place up, burned it down. We would have took it there because, first off, just to see a woman, a representative, treated like she didn't matter. And all she wanted to do, like I said, was see the face of Satan. Like I said last time, look him in his eye as he gave away more of the rights of Black and brown people. And as he basically just thought it was okay and acted as if he was doing something amazing. And all she did was knock on the door, and they dragged her like she was trash being taken out for fighting for us. And that's a problem. And I felt like we were back with like Martin Luther King and them protesting and doing all these things and being shot, being shot at, being taking water hoses to them, being dragged out like they're trash, having canines sicked on them. We're in 2021 and this is stuff that we're still witnessing. That police officer had no respect for this representative. None. So just to see that, but I'm happy that definitely that she will not be prosecuted because she will be back on them streets fighting. That's all we know. Whether she was prosecuted or not, we all know that she would have been back out there with Renita Shannon, who we had on our show, with all of them to go ahead and make sure they will be fighting. This would have never stopped them. That's all I know. That this wouldn't have stopped them. And I'm glad that we have this kind of representation here. That's what it looks like as representation. We don't need and to circle back. I know that yesterday I didn't get a chance to see it. You were saying that Kamala Harris finally appeared with Joe Biden. And for her to be a representation for us, one of the highest, the vice president of the United States. And I need that fervor. I need somebody willing, to be out there and speak on our behalf, to talk about our issues. And that's what that looks like. Not to say that Kamala needs to be doing exactly that, but we need that representation, I think, at a higher level. Even being a representative in Georgia, it seems that these folks don't think that's good enough. Now you have a seat at the table, sis. We need more representation. We need more of these things to be talked about. So that's where I'm at with it. With that, shouts out to Representative Cannon. Shouts out to Representative Shannon. Shouts out to everybody out there doing what they're doing in Georgia. I literally admire you guys every step of the way. And I wanted to circle. Do we get Ben back on? Okay.
He outside.
All right.
He outside the club.
So we're gonna roll it to a song. Yeah, he outside the club. We're gonna roll to a song. I was gonna let him stay out there a little bit. I was gonna let him stay out there a little bit, but we ain't gonna do him like y'all do me. We'll be right back with some more like that while we go get
look though. And then Dwayne, I'm gonna get Dwayne because Dwayne gonna say in the chat room, talking about Gwen Williams, good morning, I got your back. You're welcome to call in whatever you like. Shoot, we might have to get you spinning some records one day.
Oh, Dwayne, Dwayne is on a roll this morning. Okay, Dwayne is on a roll this morning. Listen, let's go ahead. Let's play one song. Let's get Ben back in here. We'll be right back with more Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon.
Benjamin Dixon. And Dwayne gonna get me. I know he gonna mute the mic or do something one day. I'm just gonna be looking out for her. Like, can y'all hear me?
What? You a lot further. The things that my grandma would say after church service. The things I repeat to this day. All worth it. 80s baby, that's who raised me. Mama had a boyfriend.
Shout out to everybody that's checking us out this morning, y'all. We greatly appreciate you for tuning in this morning, y'all. So make sure that you stay tuned.
Now that I'm older, I'm getting a little closer. Love only gets stronger. We talking a little longer. Was more than just a donor. My sister, brother, and father, strongest woman in my corner. I'm talking about my mama, yeah. If it wasn't for her, then it would not be me. I got nothing but love for all my.
Shout out to everybody that's streaming on Facebook as well too. Good morning, y'all. We see y'all. Good morning.
It would not be me. I got nothing but love for all my mommies. Always gonna care for me no matter what.
I can't stand y'all. DJ Mama Gwen. Really?
The ring, she made it happen magically.
And Rebecca Mama said, "Hey Rebecca, we love you."
No, she don't need a reason.
Girl,
I always had the latest kicks during tax season. Set up the field one with the bully, that's my old lady. Same woman front row yelling rap baby. They want support and looking just like my daughter. Shout out to grandma, she done raised a good father. When shit was getting tougher, she told me to pray harder. And if she hit the number, she would give me every dollar. Thanks, mama. If it wasn't for her, then it would not be.
Shout out to all the mamas in the building. All the mamas.
Love for all my mommies represent. If it wasn't for her.
Oh, welcome back, Ben.
I got nothing but love for all my mommies represent. No matter what for her baby, she gon' hold it down. Remember all the times when I was.
Somebody in the chat room says Like It or Not, starring James, Rebecca, and some other guy who used to host the Benjamin Dixon show.
No matter what for her baby, she gon' hold it down. Remember all the times when I was out here running wild, doing everything and anything to make her smile.
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you, Rebecca?
I make her proud. If it wasn't for her,
all right, y'all.
Be me. I got nothing but love.
Welcome back to the club. Jesus.
If it wasn't for her,
oh, Nat M.
Be me.
Shout out to Nat M. I'm sorry, Nat M, to hear that, but shout out to you. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the screen, Rebecca, and looks like we have Ben. Oh, Ben, they let you in. You late, bro. The show about to end now. Look,
it is, isn't it? Well, I got put out of my own club.
Yes.
My own spot.
How you get kicked out your own channel? Your own. It happened because the something happened to the kids' TV. Or the TV in our room that they're watching, and the TV said it couldn't connect to the internet. So my little girl decided, let me go reset the entire internet, and there you go.
That wildcat internet. That's all right.
She went and reset the entire thing, but
all right.
Hold on, before you go on. David said, "Like It or Not," starring James, Rebecca, and some other guy who used to host the Benjamin Dixon show.
That's right, baby. We taking over. Look, Ben might host.
Y'all-
Ben
y'all
might
like
own
here,
the
I
channel,
read that.
but we own the club. We own.
Right,
we own the
Rebecca.
club. You know what I'm saying? I know you got these corporations and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But we out here. We own this club, baby.
I wish I had some corporations back in those. We ain't got nobody.
I mean, we wish we had that corporation money. Shit, we wish we had that club money.
Listen, I really thought about it, and I said to myself, had I taken the little viral money that we got some viral videos back in December, I could have opened up a whole ass club, and we could just be like banking right now. But instead, I decided to invest in the movement.
He decided to hire us.
dumbass.
He decided to hire us, James. And
Right.
he's saying that wasn't the move.
No, you guys are good. You guys are just everything else between December and now. But anyway, I digress. Rebecca, you were just doing great coverage over Representative Park Cannon, and before, right as we were starting the show this morning, there was a clip of a broadcast where they were discussing it, and it was between a black woman, and her name escapes me. I'll get her name, and Eric Bolling. And the only reason I know his name is because he's formerly of Fox News. He made his entire career and his name and his brand around Fox News. So you already know what this man is about, and you know what he represents. And they were specifically discussing the voter suppression laws here in Georgia. Let's take a quick look at it.
Because I think it's really rich for any Republican, especially a white man, to run around and claim that they care about the economic condition of black communities and black businesses when that's all a lie. Okay, there's nothing in their policies.
Please let her finish.
That they've done. The other thing is that I don't work for the Biden administration.
Eric, I'm so sorry. We can't hear you. I'm going to let Aisha finish.
I don't work for the Biden administration, never have, but what I am is a black person in America. And everything that these voting laws stand for and what they look like are reminiscent to the Jim Crow policies that my family's lived under. Every single thing about it. So this is all about racial discrimination. And how dare you try to act like you are somehow a proponent of black people and businesses just to make a point and to try to create a wedge. It's ignorant and it's just disrespectful.
That's disgusting. I'm done. Put me off. That's disgusting. I am nowhere near anything you're painting me to be. And the problem with American politics is exactly that. Because I'm white, you think I'm racist. That's BS. I'm done.
Will you just stay, Eric? Will you just stay for this question? So the question we've got, Aisha, is stay for one question, Eric. Let me put this to you because
I don't know why I'm staying here. I don't know why. I need an apology.
Let me put to you the question that Mitch McConnell was saying.
For being offended. No.
Aisha, okay.
So
I think we've
so her name is Aisha C. Mills, and she's a political commentator, obviously, public affairs.
Is it Aisha or Aisha?
I've heard two different pronunciations of it, so let's go with both of them, right? Aisha Mills. Anyway, but she read him for filth, and like he's trying to pretend, and I want all y'all to say, what you saw, but he's trying to pretend as though we don't know who you are, Eric. You have been a long-standing racist on Fox News. You made your entire career off your racism. She doesn't have to go and give your whole CV of racism because we just know. Everybody sees you and knows what you did at Fox News for years. And then now what they're trying to do is pretend as if they care about the black community because Major League Baseball is moving out their all-star game. They don't give a damn about that. What they care about is suppressing the votes of black people. So Rebecca, what
there are a few things here. And now I don't really have much to say about Aisha Mills. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly, but because you did your thing, you held your ground and you said what you had to say, very poised. You didn't yell, you didn't scream, you just definitely got him together and you let him know about how he speaks to people of color and how he regards them. And she's a black woman and she had her right to state that, because a lot of times they have these people come on, journalists or professionals or analysts, and expect them to be just unbiased, and that is impossible in this particular day and time. It was impossible back then, but now that we have a voice, definitely on any platform, if you're able to read somebody for filth and drag them, read them like an encyclopedia, definitely do so. And she definitely showed us how we can do that, because when people go low, you can still go lower. You can definitely still go lower. I heard someone say on Twitter that when they go low, you can go low. You can go Boots with the Fur low, T-Pain low. You can definitely do that. Okay. So, and in regards to oh boy, he definitely gave big Piers Morgan energy. It's that white man. It's the Karen, but the I don't know what they call the male Karen. Are they calling him?
Ken.
What are they calling him?
The Ken.
He is definitely. Oh, he definitely was giving big Ken energy, and Piers Morgan gave that energy as well. They demand respect from people of color when they are put on the stand, okay, and when they are called out, and when they are held accountable, and when they are told who they are, they definitely are. They demand the apology, even though they aren't due one. They feel like, oh, she called me what I am. I need an apology right now. Although he's disrespected people time and time again, and have we heard apologies from the Kens of the in the journalistic world? Have we heard apologies from the Kens in these spaces? Nah, these people will say what they gotta say, turn around and walk out. He got so angry, I thought he was gonna give Rudy Giuliani cocoa bean sweat, from the Beijing. I didn't know what was happening there. He was getting so upset. Then he asked, "Why am I here, sir?" That is a great question. Why are you here? Why? And that's all I have for that. That's how I unpack that. I got a lot out of that, and that's how we'll unpack that. James.
Wait, James, before you come in, let me just tell everybody that's 100% why I would never honestly get on Rebecca's bad side ever, because of what she just did right there.
I effing love it, bro.
And is it Aisha? So we're gonna go with Aisha, because she was just so, and the whole her whole presentation was professional, calm, zen, and then just gutted him, just like ripped him apart. He was so hurt. It was hilarious. James, what was your take about it? Oh, you said you ain't got that.
Rebecca said it out.
She did.
I'm trying to breathe.
I'll never go get on that girl.
Ham
that
in the comments about Rebecca. They said Rebecca can be so petty.
Oh my God! He asked for an apology, and we couldn't really hear her in the background. She said, "I will not."
She definitely said that. That's what peeked through the earphones for me. She was like, "I will not give him an apology." That spoke louder than him screaming and saying, "She owes me an apology. I don't know why I'm still here. I don't know." And then look, meanwhile, the lady on the host was just like, "Can you stay for a bit?" And he's just like,
there it is. There it is. I've been waiting for it. What she say? What she say, Rebecca?
You stay for a bit. You don't have to leave. You don't.
Hey, y'all know something funny? My son, Jeremiah has an Atlanta accent, but he also has a British accent because he sits around watching Peppa Pig.
Yes,
Peppa Pig has colonized my son's language. I want him to be like down south Georgia boy, and he out here talking like.
It's not only your son. It's not only your son.
I gotta hear your son talk.
It's a lot of kids this age. My nephew, who is now about 8 years old, he was obsessed with Peppa Pig, and he used to be like, "Peppa, I want to watch Peppa Pig." And I'm like, first of all, why? You are Haitian, and I don't understand why you giving me this Peppa. And then Peppa was bad. Just teaching the kids how to be bad. Now my nephew now has an accent. He's about 5 now. He has an accent that won't go away. He has that British accent that just will not go away. He's like, "Hi, Tati." What is happening? What?
Silly daddy. This is what when my son gets mad, he's like, silly daddy. And I'm like, boy, if you don't talk like some Southern, because he was born and raised in Atlanta. Now, my daughter now, she has a little mild, it's almost gone, but she was raised in Boston. So she started picking up a really Boston accent. And I thought something was wrong with her. I thought like maybe we had to get her to speak. So she used to say, ka. And I'm like, ka? What ka? That's how they, she put the AH on everything. But now she's mixed that with Atlanta. So I have no idea what these kids are going to sound like when it's all said and done. But Peppa Pig,
that's hilarious.
She has colonized the language of young American kids.
Yes, that little pig has. That pig has definitely.
Because speaking of British pigs.
Oh, God. Oh, no, that was good, Ben. British pig. Oh, wait. I thought we were no, Ben, I'm not doing that with you. Look, I thought you was talking about Piers Morgan. No. I ain't doing that, buddy. I ain't going there. Because I know where you're going with this.
I didn't say nothing.
Into some royal BS. And I don't think I want to be a part of that.
Oh, God, no.
I don't think I want
to be. Listen, all I'm going to say is
his
whole camera off.
He said, "Get me out of here."
All I said was British pigs. Anyway,
we know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. So speaking of Fox News racism, how about that? Speaking of Fox News racism, Geraldo Rivera. This actually, I don't even want to set it up. Let's take a look at this clip of Fox News last night as Geraldo Rivera was trying to check a man for his quote unquote ghetto credentials. Take a look.
Ghetto.
And the newly elected mayor, we wish her the very best of luck with her policy. Leo, here's the question. She said, I appreciate the role of white allies in this movement of progress. I don't believe that they have the lived experience to lead a majority-minority city. Okay, so she said that. This will be an interesting social experience or perhaps even an experiment.
That is the most insulting, racist comment. You know what she's saying? She's saying, because you're white, you don't understand what we as black people go through regarding crime. That makes the assumption then that Joe Biden doesn't know. To say that she is basically in a better position because she's black is insulting, is racist, and it makes no sense whatever. I reject that argument.
Hey, Leo,
that
when was the last time you were in the ghetto? Wait a second.
Well, how dare you say that, sir? I was born. I lived right near the Coliseum. That's where I was born.
I'm from Avenue C, dude.
Next to
I'm
the
from
Coliseum.
Avenue C.
How dare you say that?
That
you know
knowledge
nothing
that
about
I
me.
have is helpful.
How dare you say that?
That knowledge I have is helpful.
Insulting.
That knowledge that I have from my background is helpful.
Geraldo, do you think?
Let her try. Let her try. Let her try a kinder approach. Maybe it'll work.
You know what?
We certainly have.
You know what Bill just accused me of? Bill Hemmer just accused Bill. You know what Geraldo accused me of? He accused me of living in a particular area that I don't understand. How dare you? I've been a civil rights attorney for 30 years. I have fought against discrimination for 30 years. Check out
Jesus on earth.
How dare you?
Listen, fabulous.
How dare you?
We started out
at Dwayne when I come through the club.
That moment is fleeting. We'll try again next week.
This is interesting because like. F both of them. Like both of them step and fetch it as like tokens.
I was trying to see was he defending old girl or no? Because he wasn't, and I don't. And stop coming for black women. And why are you associating? And I know for sure because she's black. He associated with that he associated what she said with ghetto. That's why he used the term. First of all, your last name is Rivera. Okay, you've been trying to pass as this white man. Rivera will never get any. That last name will not be white. It just cannot get any. It just can't get any more. There is nothing white about that, sir. No matter how you stretch that mustache out, it just will not give whiteness. It just won't. It just won't.
What was his angle? Because Leo angle, the black dude's angle was well, you know, the insinuation that because she's black she understands, and the reverse. This man was out here obviously doing his job. This is another person that's doing the blackface of white supremacy. That's his job, right?
Yeah.
Leo. And so he was speaking for white supremacy, and I'm guessing that Geraldo was like, well, I don't let them fight. Where's
Geraldo came through like, okay, black man, let me remind you that you two are black. Let me remind you that you two are black. What you said was cute and all, but you don't represent me, Geraldo Rivera, as a white man. You don't represent me as a white man. That's what. And he's looking like, oh no, you a brown man. That's what I heard. You a minority too. You will not tell me nothing. I was raised in the suburbs. He's like, listen, and then Geraldo tried to say, I was raised on Avenue C. I am a part of this conversation too. Clearly, you both aren't. And you aren't doing it any
at all.
justice.
Clearly.
We don't even know the point of where you guys were going.
I don't even know what the hell they were trying to say.
Dancers tap dancing away for the white folks at Fox.
They were saying, who can dance best? Chop, chop,
yes.
chop, chop, ta-da.
Hit that good old jig. That's all that is. Y'all just hit the jig for these goddamn people.
But still, who the hell refers to the ghetto anymore? Like, who says that? Does anybody honestly say ghetto? I
mean, I do. I say, we'll try the ghetto. That's it.
No. We say it to this. We say the hood, though.
Right. We don't say, when's the last time you've been in the ghetto? We say, like, when the last time you've been in the hood? Like.
Because when you say the ghetto, I think I go back to things like, not that. Maybe when they called those areas the ghettos, like in Haiti, we call those spaces the ghettos, but because they're lacking and it's not like, oh, it's hood and it's associated with a certain type of person. It's because of the atmosphere or the surroundings and because the lack of that's there, not because of the people and how they talk.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's so even him saying it, and I'm trying to figure it out, but I don't know if it's even worth trying to figure out. I guess Geraldo was trying to say something to the extent of Leo has no connection to the black community and therefore give the mayor a chance, but he still said it drenched in his ghetto white supremacy kind of, you know.
He just is ghetto just because, like I'm saying, just because you were raised, and sometimes a lot of times those cultures will raise their children to be white. So shouts out to Steve Harvey. They will and Benjamin Dixon. They will raise their.
Do I say white like that?
Sometimes there are some words. There's
woman.
Woman. Yes, you say woman. But they'll raise their kids to be like that, and they sit around here and they think that when it's time to pull out that card and say, "Me too, I have a tan in my skin.
I have a drop of melanin.
I can speak on this situation as well." But you have been speaking, both of y'all. I don't care how mad you get on Fox News as a black man who is now trying to say, I am a black man that was raised in a suburban area with a working class, almost rich family. You will not disrespect me and say that I'm to associate me with the hood. It was like, what kind of arguments are happening? You're black and he's looking at you, so he's definitely going to associate you with the hood.
Damn.
You just
would it have been better if he had said hood versus ghetto?
No, because then we're going to be looking like, so what's the hood to this man?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
It's a problem.
Just kept his mouth shut. That's what he should have done.
This is like white folking and saying, white folks who live in black communities, white folking, and saying the word, the N word, just because they feel like they've been raised and have best friends and have black friends that they can say the damn word.
Yeah, better watch out, mouth. You are doing pretty bad, Leo, when you get the hood check from a white dude, like whatever Geraldo Rivera is. He ain't black, but he did call you out on your on the lack of blackness, and he even it's just a cluster F of stupidity on that clip. Y'all want to see something pretty funny though? There's this clip from we got a new and Tufus was the last iteration of the show. There's a video of a woman who lost her teeth because she apparently got too drunk in the middle of a brunch. Take a look at this clip. Dwayne, if you got it, run it real quick.
This is me after 4 mimosas.
This is me after 8 mimosas.
This is me after 2 mimosas. This is me after, I think, 6 mimosas. This is me after 7 mimosas.
This is me after 2 flights of mimosa.
This is me.
This is me after all the flights of mimosas. Don't talk. I'm video.
No, can't watch it. I don't like to see stuff like this. I get cringy.
Oh my God! I didn't know we were gonna actually see it. Oh my God! No, I don't want to see it.
It's okay.
I
can't.
Oh man.
I can't watch. I feel the pain if I watch.
No, we didn't see her fall. We just see the aftermath.
Oh,
poor baby.
Oh, white people, white
even
people.
the blood, y'all, it's killing me. Get her off screen. Whew, see? Playing with the mimosas. Now you want to climb stuff. And now you want to hop on people's shoulders.
But mimosas ain't never made me do that.
Mimosas.
That's what I was going to say.
What'd you say?
Mimosas ain't even that.
It's just
No, you a
champagne
lie.
and orange juice.
You a lie. Champagne really be hitting me right in the shoulder. I'd be like, y'all, I'm mimosas tonight. I'm playing it cool. I'm just gonna play it cool. You guys could do the hard liquor today because it's morning time. I'm just gonna do mimosas. It hits the shoulder first, then it starts to creep up into the neckline, then it starts to go into my ears, and then it goes into my mind, and it tells me to do things like text my ex. It's ridiculous. It is 10 in the morning.
Now. Alcohol will get you in trouble. Listen, don't put your phone away but mimosas ain't never.
Y'all don't know what kind of mimosas y'all been having, but these mimosas will have people just out there like they just chugged Henny.
Yeah. Because I was just about to ask you, then what does Henny start at?
Exactly.
So Henny for me now that I'm 30, Henny for me doesn't hit the same, right? I used to drink Hennessy and I used to throw it back like, ha ha, like drive the boat, like, ha, give me the bottle, y'all kids, y'all, you know what I mean? Like hold my other drink while I have this drink. But Henny doesn't. The minute that I smell it, it takes me back to times where I was just like, I can't do it no more. Hennessy it's a medicine, like it's you literally drink it and everything is either burnt down.
Oh my goodness!
You don't know what you're getting. So I just stay with my Haitian rum. Hennessy just when you get a certain kind of age, that hard liquor don't do what it's supposed to do.
That's true. That's true. It's not fun. It's not fun anymore.
It's not fun.
James, but you laughed extra hard at that sister losing her teeth.
I know. Did you see her fall?
They cut the part out.
Okay.
Right, they cut that part out.
Dumb as hell. That was her dumb ass get. Why would you get so dumb ass on somebody else that has been already drinking? Your dumb ass gonna fall through and bust all your teeth out. That's just
but they was on. He said flights of mimosa. That's
flights.
I don't know what even flights of mimosa looks like. Is that?
It's like four. It's like 4 or 5 drinks at a time. That's a whole flight.
You
get a flight of tequila.
No.
That's it.
Man.
What's the my question was going to be what's the dumbest thing you did? But I think I think that's obviously not a conversation we want to have on here. We'll talk about that after
party.
Definitely.
That's the after party.
Conversation.
I don't even think I want to go into that. I'd be so ashamed. I won't come back on the show for 2 weeks.
Man, damn that. I just had so many times. It's just a whole lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Oh, Lord. I'm just thinking.
That's why I don't drink like that no more. I'm literally, since we've been in the house, it's literally the beginning of the pandemic was drink, like we talked about yesterday. It was just for me all drinking. I think my body started saying, sis, this drinking is happening daily. Like it's not the weekend drinking anymore. So now we're going to store right in your tummy area and we're going to make you fall asleep. We're going to give you naps 5 times a day. And you wake up and you pour another. I needed to get up. And I was doing hard liquor. So what was the hardest liquor that you guys were drinking during the pandemic? Mine, I resorted to going back to the Haitian rum. So because the Haitian rum is good to me.
Haitian rum ain't no joke, man. I
have to go to the 4-year. They got the 8-year and the 20-year. I had to go to the 4-year.
It wasn't the I only really messed with Cavassier because it's the only alcohol that I could drink and wake up the next morning and go run.
That's for old school of
right. And shout out to my father-in-law. We always like sit in his garage before the pandemic and just sit there and throw back the Cavassiers. It's old black man liquor, but it's not the liquor. It's just how much. I didn't realize like how much I buy a whole gallon, and then I come back the next day and realize I done tapped about half of that thing. So I just stopped drinking altogether, except a little wine here and there, because it just sneaks up on you. So that's
what kind of wine is your favorite, James?
So I used to drink everything. Like so in college, just like maybe after being love, used to have this like little thing called ABC. I don't know if y'all remember ABCs in
liquor
Florida.
store ABC.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
we started a little organization where we used to drink all the time. So, fast forward now, I really don't. I drink. I have bottles in there, but I was like literally drinking everything. But like 1 glass, 2 glass. Now it was one night I downed a half a bottle of Grey Goose. I think it was.
Oh man, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Grey Goose, you guys are on some old school drinks. I can't even look at that thing. Like, what?
Really?
Listen, let me say.
Cavassier.
Cavassier, the truth. Like,
yeah,
it's
Grey
smooth.
Goose, and then somebody's gonna name Chardonnay next, or not.
Hey, no. I'm gonna name something.
Sean Don.
Sean Don.
Whatever drink, you know.
No. I'm gonna mess with y'all. Mad Dog 2020. Now, I ain't drank that since Bethune-Cookman.
That
but
sounds
the reason
like a moonshine.
it is poison. That's all I know. It was the gas station. I ain't gonna put them out on. I ain't gonna say exactly where it was, but there used to be a spot. There used to be a spot where you could go underage and nobody even cared, and we just grabbed up all the MD 2020s because that's the only thing they had. They didn't have real liquor, so we grabbed all the MD 2020. Got the purple one, the yellow one. I don't even remember the names. I just remember the colors. The red one, and then we just throw them all back as you know. So shout out to MD 2020. I think that's the cheapest liquor I've ever drank in my life, and it will mess you up. Period.
That is Thunderbird.
Wow, those sound like something like people like bring to the barbecue and just be like just drinking amongst the uncles.
Nah, you better not. You better not bring no MD 2020 to a barbecue. You get that is the bottom. That is bottom feeding right there. Alcohol.
Yeah, and that A says St. Ives. Yeah, St. Ives was the other one that we used to drink all the time too.
yeah.
All right, so wait, before we get out of here, one more question? What is the drink that told you no, that you said I will never go back to this drink and again? Mine will always be anything vodka. I can never
Four Loko.
do anything vodka. Ooh,
Okay.
No, Four Loko.
I got a great story, and I'll give you guys a preview of it, and then we'll give the whole story. But it was my birthday party when I was turning 29. This is before I got married, obviously. And we were all night long. We were at the club. We had bought out the VIP section. And all night long, people were just feeding me drinks. So it isn't a particular drink, Rebecca, but it is a combination of drinks. And y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but hey, it was my birthday. I had Patron and Grey Goose all night long. And all I could say is I had to climb up my steps to get back to my apartment. I'll tell you the full story in the after party.
Ooh, child. That's
see you guys. Look, see you guys at the after party. If not, y'all, thanks for rolling with us on this Friday.
Patron party tonight.
The patron party is tonight. You guys can definitely get there. You're going to get a little teaser of the patron party when you come over to the next segment of the show. For everybody else, we love you guys. Mean it. Sign up to be a patron at patreon.com/like it or not. Again, that's patreon.com/like it or not. Ben, what did you forget?
I'm just remembering. I'm remembering all the horror stories I have of them nights drinking everything crazy. No, let's go to the after party.
And with your reaction, I know it's going to be good in the after party. I love you guys. Mean it. Head over to the after party.
Shout out to y'all. If anything, we'll see y'all Monday morning, y'all. So make y'all couldn't press the play button. Right. So out to everybody that tuned in this morning to watch us, y'all. Make sure that y'all get set up and get to the after party. We'll be there momentarily.
When I get you back, oh yeah. When I get you back, oh yeah. I promise you'll never leave.